Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm Bob Pompeani on a wild and wacky day in which the Steelers, given a 4% chance of making the playoffs, actually made the playoffs. Who knew this was going to happen? We have a lot to get into. We're going to talk about Antonio Brown. We're going to look into the matchup next week between the Steelers and the Chiefs. But the #1 topic tonight on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown is how the Steelers survived and now will advance into the postseason. Here's your panel. We have Josh Yohe joining us out west in L.A. He's covering the Penguins, got a West Coast trip out there. Below him, it's Andrew Fillipponi, who does great work with 93.7 The Fan and his CBS National Show, and Chris Mack, co-host of the Fan Morning Show. This has been a long day, man. And Chris, you normally go to bed by now, but we thank you for staying up.
Well, as you can see, Josh is in California, but I'm in Hawaii, Bob.
Oh, I like that Hawaii picture behind you. Aloha. Yeah. All right, let's get right into it. Andrew, I'm going to start with you. 4% chance, and yet the Jacksonville Jaguars came out and won a game that I don't think anyone thought they were going to win, basically 15, 16-point underdogs. Just talk about how this day went, and how shocked were you to see the developments and the Steelers get in?
Well, we found out today that the Colts going to Jacksonville is the equivalent of what for the Steelers? Those trips to Oakland throughout the years, whenever Roethlisberger and Tomlin would travel out west where, Josh is right now to that Pacific time zone and that dump, weird things would happen. Terrell Pryor, X-ray machines, all kinds of crap. And that is now proving to be the case for the Colts. 2014, it really is a curse. Carson Wentz turned into a pumpkin today, and the Eagles get a first-round pick for this guy too, Bob. What a gift for them. They're in the playoffs, plus they get an extra first-round pick. Carson Wentz stinks. And for the Steelers, what we saw for them, Bob, was this is not so much Jerome Bettis going out on top in his swan song, but it's a pretty cool consolation prize to beat Cleveland and now our rival Baltimore and get back to the playoffs against all odds.
I think it's a whole lot more than a consolation prize, Pony. I mean, you got, by any measure, a team with this poor an offensive line, with the 32nd ranked run defense in the league, with a 39-year-old quarterback who's barely a shell of himself. This is an unmitigated success. Even if they go to Kansas City and lose by 5 touchdowns, they somehow worked themselves into a playoff spot. Even if it required Carson Wentz being Carson Wentz and making a mess of himself, it's an unmitigated success.
There was a time today when I thought the Steelers were going to have the miracle come true in Jacksonville but not take care of business in Baltimore. That didn't really feel like a win until the fourth quarter when you all kind of realized, Ben's going to find a way to win this game. What it told me was, and maybe it gives the Steelers a little bit of hope moving forward, the AFC stinks. Because about a month ago, the Colts looked like they may have been the best team in the AFC. They had this unstoppable rushing attack, a good defense, and all of a sudden they go to Jacksonville and get destroyed. It just goes to show if you're trying to make a living betting on the National Football League, good luck. You don't know what's going to happen. But you know what? This isn't a Super Bowl team. We know that, Bob. But good for the Steelers. They still made the playoffs, and at the end of the day, there's something to be said for that.
Let's talk about Ben Roethlisberger. Pony, he goes into the second half of a game in which he, again, started slowly. The entire team did, and that's something they got to figure out next week for sure. But in the second half, 22 of 29, 178. Just you can tell the difference at quarterback, quite frankly. You got an undrafted guy like Tyler Huntley versus him, and even though he's not the same quarterback, he still has the will and the ability to get something done in that situation.
Well, I think what it proved today was, so many of his clutch fourth quarter stats so far this year were under the microscope because the Steelers were getting blown out in a lot of those games. And so a lot of those numbers were hollow. I mean, they'd come close, but no cigar. Games in Minnesota, LA were inflated numbers when teams were playing prevent defense. Today was the real deal. And I know the Ravens have the most porous pass defense in the NFL, but still, terrible conditions. Chris touched on the offensive line struggles. I mean, that was really what Roethlisberger has come to be defined by and known for. His performance late in games, not about the gaudy stats, but what does he do in crunch time? He showed that both in the fourth quarter and overtime of this game that he still had it for one more game.
And for a second week in a row, guys, we got a little bit of a glimpse of what it'll be like in the post-Roethlisberger era as far as who the engines are that drive this team, right? T.J. Watt on the defensive side of the ball, who ties the sack record, and a one-armed Najee Harris comes back into the game in the second half and absolutely guts it out, making one-handed catches because, again, the other arm wasn't working. I just credit to him. I don't know how healthy and how much he'll be able to do in Kansas City next weekend, but those two guys are what this team is built on going forward. I mean, there are a few other complementary pieces on defense, certainly, and Freiermuth on offense. Maybe any receiver that doesn't want to drop an important football at any point in time could be lumped into that group as well, but they've got pieces to build around going forward.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Najee. That was a really gutsy effort from that kid. I think we all thought he was done for the day, and then late in the third quarter, there he is, clearly playing with one arm, makes the incredible catch. And as for Roethlisberger, yes, he was great in the clutch, as he always is. Here's what I think about all those fourth quarter numbers. If you watch a lot of the NFL, and I know we all do, defenses just get tired. Pass rushers get tired. We see it every week in games. And I think the Steelers' offensive line is so bad that they literally can't give Roethlisberger time in the first half of games. I really believe it's that simple. Late in games, when those pass rushers wear out a little bit, all of a sudden he has more time to operate, and the offense starts moving. I think that's part of it. And this goes to show, if you're Kansas City right now, you're thinking to yourself, better just blow them out in the first half like we did a few weeks ago, because if you leave Roethlisberger around in the fourth quarter, clearly that's still when he's at his best.
Ben Roethlisberger said to Bill Cowher today, when he was asked directly, is this it? Are you done? His answer was likely. Now, he said that all along. Andrew, what do you make of that? Why can't he just say yes?
Well, because what happens if the Steelers do get red hot? You know, is there going to be a temptation if he finishes the season in this heroic, incredible fashion? Is he going to think, you know what, maybe I still do have something left? I mean, the competitive spirit is obviously still there. And so if that happens, would he be able to resist the temptation of trying to come back and do it next year? I mean, look, he was there when Bettis had to get talked out of it following the AFC Championship game loss to the Patriots in 2004. Is there a similar scenario where Ben thinks, hey, we're actually really close, let me try it one more time? I mean, I think it's still going to take almost a miracle again. The Lightning's going to have to strike twice for that to play out. But that would be the only way Ben reconsiders what has appeared to be his final go-around with the Steelers.
And why close the door 100% right now, Bob, if you don't have to, right? I mean, he doesn't have to say, no, I'm absolutely 110% totally done as soon as this season is over. Because, let's be honest, Ben loves to feel wanted, right? He wants to feel wanted by the Steelers. He wants to feel wanted by anybody. I'm not implying he'd ever go play anywhere else, but he'd like the fact that if he kept the door open just a crack, somebody might come knocking, somebody desperate for a quarterback, and they would have to be desperate, I think. Somebody might make even the most nominal offer to him, and he would feel wanted again. Even if it wasn't here in Pittsburgh, he'd probably turn it down and not play anyway, but why slam the door on that possibility?
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things. Let's be honest, guys. Ben's enjoying the farewell tour. There's no question. He likes the attention. I mean, that's fine. I probably would too if I were in his shoes. He didn't want to leave the field at Heinz Field last week after the game. He was soaking it up. He was enjoying it. So there's something to be said for that, sure. But also, this is the ultimate competitor. People like Ben, it's not easy for them to retire. I think that's part of it. They're probably going to have to drag him off the field at some point. I think his wife, Ashley, might have to just come on the field and say, Ben, that's it. You're done. You're retired now. So I think he's done. But he's soaking it all in a little bit.
All right, we have a lot more to get into. We'll talk about next week, the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll also talk about a report that Kevin Colbert will retire at the end of the NFL draft. And what does that mean for the Steelers moving forward? We got a lot to get into. We'll even try to sneak in Antonio Brown and his antics, all coming up. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown right here on KDKA. The #1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by #1 Cochran, Go One Better. And by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Have a greater hand in your health.